So before we start, we do the Mangalacharan. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahegana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sahegana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchani Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Okay, so verse 5, just a quick reminder to everyone. Your attendance is important and that will impact your presence or absence in the exam. And if you're not on video, your attendance will not be recorded. So humble request to everyone, if you want to give exam, please bring your attendance up. Hare Krishna. So you've done all that overview of this verse. So Kanishta Adhikari, anyone can tell 4 characteristics of Kanishta Adhikari? Anyone? I don't know the name, anyone? You can read on the screen.
It's
Rasan and Prabhuji saying something?
well, I had with me Madhya Madhigari. So
Okay.
I was able to say Madhya.
Okay. Manmohan Prabhuji? You can read on the screen, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's not exam.
Oh, words a little bit smaller for me because I'm not wearing my screen glasses.
Okay, no worries. Anyone
I'll
else
try,
can read?
Prabhu.
Yes,
We'll try.
Mata. Yes, you can try. Anyone can try.
Kanishta Adhikari, his characteristic, he worships the deities only in the temple.
Yep.
And he behaves very badly with the devotees. And he is Harinam initiated and he is trying to chant. And his faith is little soft and unsteady.
So
and the way, sorry, yes,
yes,
Prabhu?
Mata. Please go ahead, Mataji.
And the way we behave to him is we mentally respect the devote Kanishta Adhikari.
Yeah, that's fine. All these characteristics given on the screen, which is written in the book itself. Why do we need to know that? So that we can label everyone else as Kanishta Adhikari?
Now we shall have to come to the Madhyama Adhikari level.
Yes. Any more reasons? So first we should try to avoid these things, what is written. Okay, to start with. Yes, Akhanda Prabhu.
It's basically to know what is the etiquette to behave with different levels of devotees. It's not for labeling, it's just the appropriate behavior is actually exhibited by us.
Yes. And Sakhiradhika Mataji, you were saying something?
It's basically similar thing for Preeti Lakshana.
Yes.
We need to understand.
So first, we need to understand where we are. And if we are showing these characteristics, so we have to understand and correct ourselves. And second thing is we have to protect ourselves as well. So if you're constantly associating with these sort of people, whose association is not very encouraging and sort of pulling us down, so we have to sort of protect, draw a line. And that's what Rupa Goswami is also saying. So identification is not to label anyone and everyone, but to protect ourselves. And if we are behaving that way, we have to avoid behaving in that way and go up. Okay, Madhyamadikari, Rasanand Prabhuji is ready. It's on the screen. It's not a test. You can read. That's fine. No problem with that.
So Madhyama Adhikari, 4 characteristics are prema. So Krishna is the object of love for him.
Yeah.
And with other devotees he is very friendly, Maitri. And the third is kripa. So he is merciful to innocent. And upeksha, so avoids very envious people.
So 4 words we can remember in Sanskrit: Prema, Maitri, Kripa, Peksha. Prema to Ishvara, Maitri to Tad Adhineshu, which is the Adhineshu means who are subservient of the Lord, so it means devotees. Prema, Maitri, Kripa. Kripa to innocent. Bali Sheshu Dushashucha. Bali Sheshu means innocent, who are innocent in Krishna consciousness, not by age, but by innocence, by mind. They are curious, they are inquisitive. Prema, Maitri, Kripa, Upeksha. Upeksha means he avoids the association of the other who are dvishassu, who are dveshi, envious. So Prema, Maitri, Kripa, Peksha. You can learn these 4 words. They're very easy words and they're very beautiful. And Prabhupada also writes, inconclusive knowledge of Shastra. I'm just reading the slide here itself. Undeterred continuous process in any circumstances. Although his knowledge is not fully conclusive, in his head, but his heart is fully into Krishna consciousness. You can't move his faith. Faithful, firm in chanting. And the table here is also very, very important. Again, on a broad level, we are saying Anartha Nivritti onwards. This Madhyama Adhikari is there. So he is already at the level of Asakti, which is a very, very high level in that sense. Huh? So not everyone will be a Madhyama Adhikari. Not only the Ruchi one as well. He has Asakti for Krishna, which is very, very nice. We read 3 verses, 2 from Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'll just quickly say, Shastra Yukti Nahi Drada Shraddhavan. Shastra Yukti Nahi means he does not know full Shastra. Again, in his head and heart, there are 2 different things. In his head, he doesn't know. He doesn't know the response of every single argument. But in his heart, he has full faith in Krishna. Drada Shraddhavan. His Shraddha is very, very drada. Madhyama Adhikari saying Mahabhagyavan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying he is very, very fortunate. And then he says, Yah Shastra Adishva Anipunaha. Similar thing saying Anipuna. He's not very nipun. So he may not be able to respond to your arguments. That's why Shraddhavan Satu Madhyamaha. But his Shraddha is very, very great. And then we read this 11 to 46 very, very popular verse, which Rasanand Prabhu was referring to. Ishvare Adhineshu Balisheshu Dusasisha. What does the first line represents? Our object of behavior. And second line represents our behavior itself. So object is Ishvara. What's our behavior? Prema. Tad adhineshu. That's our object. What's our behavior? Maitri. Balisheshu. Behavior is Kripa. And Dushasu. Behavior is Upeksha. Yah karoti sa madhyama. It's a very, very easy verse. You can make a note of it and try to remember if possible. We looked at this one. So Ishvara, Prema, Tad adhineshu, Maitri, Balisheshu. This Prabhuji is distributing the books, so he is meeting many, many people. Now, not everyone will be very favorable, but many people he will meet, he will give Kripa, he will give Krishna consciousness. But if he finds them Dvishassu, Upeksha, and that we have to do in all aspects of our life, even while giving Krishna consciousness, while dealing with others, we have to just follow these 4 principles. And if we follow these principles consistently, probabilities, we will also become Madhyama Adhikari one day, and hopefully one day Uttama Adhikari. Okay. Any questions so far before we go to Uttama Adhikari?
Prabhu,
Okay.
just one quick one.
Yes, Mataji.
We talked about earlier that when it is the Kanishta Adhikari, he chants from the tongue because it's not coming from his heart. And then, of course, the Uttama Adhikari is chanting from the heart, completely from his heart. So the Madhyam is in between. So he is partly this and partly that.
Prabhupada has written the word firm for him. So if you read the previous slide, this Prabhupada words, he is firm in chanting. So you can say he's in transition state. He's not at bhava stage as yet, but he's firm. Firm means he's firm in chanting. Now there may be some areas of improvements there, but his chanting is very, very high. His chanting, the most important thing, Mataji, is his drada shraddha. He has firm faith. Everything else is peripheral actually. I think Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, what does preaching mean? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives this definition of preaching. I just remembered when you asked that question. He said, preaching means you break the faith in material energy of people. So at the moment, we, all of us as well, we have a lot of faith in material energy. Money will protect, although we say this and that, money will protect. Our swajana will protect. Our intellect will protect me. But actually, nothing is going to protect us except Krishna. Avashya Rakshipe, Krishna, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Avashya, Avashya means in every circumstances, Krishna is going to protect me. Krishna is going to protect me. That faith is not there as yet. As yet. Now, this Madhyam Adhikari has full faith in that, and everything else is just outside of it. Then it can be chanting, it can be dealing with others, as we talked about. He's doing upeksha, that's fine. But Uttam Adhikari will see how he behaves with these people. So, Drada Shraddhavan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, say Mahabhagyavan. Madhyam Adhikari, say Mahabhagyavan. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very fortunate person. Okay, let's go to Uttam Adhikari. We'll read Prabhupada, few lines from Prabhupada purport, and then we'll proceed. So I'll read the verse line. Shushrushraya bhajan vigyam ananya anya nindadi shunya hridam ipsita sangalabdya. What are the two characteristics given by Rupa Goswami? Two characteristics. Anyone? We have discussed it many times. Madhuri Mataji?
Nindadi
Nindadi shunya?
Nindadi Shunyam.
Full word.
Shushrusha.
No, sorry.
Bhajana Vigyam. Bhajana
Bhajana
Vigyam.
Vigya. So his two characteristics are Bhajana Vigya, he is very advanced in his bhajan, and we can say he has realized the bhajan. And the second is Nindadi Shunya, that's not the complete word, Madhuri Mataji. Nindadi Shunya
Shunya.
Ridam.
Rhythm.
Those three words, this is very, very important. So Nindadi Shunya, I think I gave this example. Many times we may not do Ninda by our mouth because of many reasons, but in our heart, it's just pumping so loudly. If someone could hear our heart sometime or our mind, Guru Maharaj said, if we had the power to read someone else's mind, we'll not be sitting in such a nice, friendly way. Because in the mind, we are saying, you cat. And the other person is saying, you rat. We keep saying so many things to each other in our mind, when we meet some specific people. So Guru Maharaj said, it's very nice in Kali Yuga, we can't read each other's mind. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to survive. Very, very difficult. That's true. But in this Uttam Adhikari is Hriday, in his mind, that's not the case with him. That's not the case. He's completely shant. I heard a definition of shant from Bhagavatam. Very beautiful definition. Shant means whose indriyas are shant. Shant does not mean who does not speak. Whose senses are not agitated. Whose mind is not agitated. That is called shant. And a devotee is shant. Now, how many of us are shant? We don't know. Maybe externally sometimes we look shant. Mind is so much ashant. So that's the target. That's the target. Our mind and senses should be not agitated under any circumstances. That is called shant. So that's the big target. Anyway, so he has achieved that target. He has achieved this target even in his heart. Ninda, Adi, Shunya. What does Ninda mean? Criticism. When we criticize someone. And Adi means, anyone can say Adi. Adi, etc. So similar
It's
things
like
to Ninda. Yes,
Ityadi. Like we say Ityadi, etc. As you said.
So the meaning is, so we're doing a lot of prajalpas. It's not just the criticism we are talking here. Everything else is all right. No. Ninda Adi. Rupa Goswami is very intelligent. He's putting the whole word. Ninda Adi Shunyam. So anything like that means prajalpa. In his hriday, in his heart, he does not have any tendency. So not only in his lips, in his mind, in his heart, he has no tendency to criticize others. Now, does it mean he will not criticize anyone at all? Does it mean he will not criticize anyone at all?
To correct for the benefit of the devotees, he may correct.
Yes.
Chastise.
So it's not, yes, he will chastise. For example, our Srila Prabhupada also chastised his disciples and some other devotees many times. Was it not Uttam Adhikari because he's chastising? No, he is still a Purna Uttam Adhikari. That chastisement is not out of envy or jealousy or for any other purpose of proving I am greater than you. No, he is chastising as a father chastising a son for the correct behavior of the son. Mother Yashoda was also chastising Lord Krishna. Not that she didn't like Krishna. She loved Krishna so much that my boy should not develop any other habit other than some good habits. So very important to understand this person, this Uttamadhikari, may also criticize sometime. You may find some statements which are harsh, but they are not out of jealousy or envy, they are out of compassion. Prabhupada chastised at different occasions that were to correct his disciples, and because it's a duty of a spiritual master. I remember Bhakti Charu Maharaj was giving one initiation in Sydney, and he said to this initiated candidate, do you give me right to chastise yourself? And this Prabhuji said, yes, Maharaj. Because he said, sorry, but it's my duty. It's my duty to chastise you sometimes when I have to correct you. Do you give me right to chastise you in front of everyone? Maharaj asked this person, I can't remember who this person was, but I really liked it. Maharaj saying, it's my duty. It's my duty. So to correct others, not when we try to chastise others, it is out of compassion. Mostly not. Mostly not. We are not on that level. Mostly it's our ego. We're trying to prove ourselves better than the other person. Okay. So Mahavasu Prabhu is here. So the two characteristics Mahavasu Prabhu is Bhajana Vigya, that's the most important thing. He has realized the bhajan. The second thing, he has no tendency to criticize anyone at all. Now, what is our response to this? So when you said Prabhuji Shushrusha, that is our response to the Uttamadhikari. How do we behave with the Uttamadhikari? So first we do Shushrusha, we do some seva. Now what does that seva mean? We'll discuss later. And the second thing is ipsit. Ipsit means, anyone knows? Ipsit. Ipsa. To desire. To desire. So we should desire. What should we desire? Sang labdhya. How can we get that association of this type of Vaishnava? Sang labh. Labh means benefit, profit. How can we get the profit of this type of Sangha who is bhajana vigya and who has no tendency to criticize others? Now, when we know this, first, obviously, it's a goal for us. Also, we will know which devotees have this, and we will try to take their association. As we said last time, not just like-minded plus right-minded. If like-minded is not the right mind, that association we don't want. We both like criticizing other devotees. No, I don't want it because I want to become a devotee. He's not interested in becoming devotee. It's none of my business. It's between him and Krishna. I want to be a devotee. Before I leave this body, I want to become a devotee. The target should not be, my Guru Maharaj said in one class, we should not become like a police to others. Oh, Prabhuji, you made a mistake. I can show you the reference of Prabhupada. He said, no, you should not be becoming like a police. Every time someone does a mistake and you are sort of policing that person. Not like that. But we're trying to correct ourselves as much as possible. Okay, let's read Prabhupada. Uttamadhikari, or the highest devotee, is one who is very advanced in devotional service, bhajan vigya. And Uttamadhikari is not interested in blaspheming others. His heart is completely clean and he has attained the realized state of unalloyed Krishna consciousness. What does Uttama mean? Uttama is made up of two words, Uttama. Tam means darkness. Ut means utha hua. He is transcended the darkness. Now, darkness does not mean my room darkness. He has transcended the darkness of his heart. Anyone remembers a similar verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, I will remove the darkness from your heart. Now everyone will know. Jaldi.
Nana Deepena Bhashwata.
Thank you. Number? Now Prabhu, number. Jaldi se. 10, 11. Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita. Jnana Deepen Bhasvata. And the verse before 10.10, what Krishna says? Dadami buddhi yogam tam yen mam upiyanti. So I will give them the buddhi yoga so that they can come back to me. And how I give the buddhi yoga? Jnana Deepen Bhasvata. I light the knowledge, the lamp of knowledge in their heart. Because at the moment, our heart, generally speaking, is very, very dark. Very, very dark. Darkness is of millions of years of calm, growth, low, masar. But when Krishna lights the diya of knowledge, then we realize this is not worth it. Someone was saying, what's the definition of anartha? Anartha. Artha means valuable. Anartha means which is not valuable. But which is not valuable, we carry those things as very valuables. Isn't it? They are not valuable at all. The Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsar, they are not valuable at all. But we carry in our heart, Krodh. You know, someone says something is just there in the eyes, in the nose, in the tongue. It's just there because we are carrying it, our sampatti. This is like our sampatti. You know, Asurik sampatti and Daivi sampatti. This is Asurik sampatti, but we are carrying it. So anartha, which has no value, but we carry it like valuables. Why? Because we don't realize what is valuable and what is non-valuable. Maharaj said we should become serious about serious things and we should become unserious about unserious things. But it's other way. We usually become serious about unserious things. Choti cheezein, small things, we become very serious about it. Oh my God, my life is going upside down. And when we don't chant, we don't read, we don't go to temple, we don't serve, it's all right. I'm in trouble these days, so I've just postponed my Bhakti Shastri exam for some time. I postponed my mala for some time. Temple, I will definitely go next year. No. Uttamadhikari doesn't do all that. According to Srila Rupa Goswami, the association and service of such a Bhagavad or perfect Vaishnava is most desirable. So these 3 lines are literally the translation of the verse. Now, Prabhupada has written this in the purport. I would like to read. It's very nice. Anyone would like to read?
Can I read?
Sure. Anyone.
When a neophyte devotee is actually initiated and engaged in devotional service by the orders of the spiritual master, he should be accepted immediately as a bona fide Vaishnava.
Yes, Mataji, just wait, sir. So 2 things are given here. Actually initiated, which is very, very nice. And it's not a slash, engaged in devotional service. So many times you'll find the first one, but not the second one. So we should be taking and very important. So they get initiated, you'll see on the Yagya Kunda, when they get a new name and then you never see them again. Or you say them very, very rarely. So you understand. So initiation is the initiation. It's not the end. I think some Maharaj was saying, maybe Devan Maharaj, initiation is the initiation. It's your journey starting now. It's not the end. Yes, I got a new name by my spiritual master, and then yes, I've achieved the target. Initiated and engaged in devotion service. That Vaishnava we should offer obeisances. So the second part is extremely important. Yes, Mataji.
And obeisances should be offered unto him. Out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to be very seriously engaged in the service of the Lord and strictly following all the regulative principles, chanting the prescribed number of rounds on japa beads, and always thinking of how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement.
So we'll stop here, Mataji. So now you see what's the difference between the first line and the second line? Very seriously engaged. So now you'll see many, casually they come and do devotional service, no doubt about it, but they're not so firm about it. So Prabhupada is saying very seriously, they're very, very serious about advancement and they do serious devotional service, is strictly following all the regulative principles, strictly following. Nahi sometimes chalega, strictly following. So see the difference. Now the depth has gone deeper. Chanting the prescribed number of rounds, obviously there's no doubt about it, and always thinking, the last line is always thinking of how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. So now you can see which of the characteristics I have, or if I don't have, how can I develop those characteristics, or which devotees have it. They are serious. Yes, Mataji.
Such a Vaishnava should be accepted as an Uttama Adhikari, a highly advanced devotee, and his association should always be sought.
So very, very clear Prabhupada is writing. So he's writing the initial stage. Initial stage is also not just the initiation is the initial stage, and engagement in devotional service is very, very compulsory, you can say, if you want to advance. And then second Prabhupada is saying these 4 characteristics should be there. Then that Vaishnava should be accepted as Uttamadhikari. One more paragraph, someone else can read.
I can read.
Yes, Mataji.
When a person realizes himself to be an eternal servitor of Krishna, he loses interest in everything but Krishna's service. Always thinking of Krishna, devising means by which to spread the holy name of Krishna. He understands that his only business is in spreading the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. Such a person is to be recognized as an Uttam Adhikari, and his association should be immediately accepted according to the 6 processes. Dadati, Pratigranati, etc. Indeed, the advanced Uttamadhikari Vaishnava devotee should be accepted as a spiritual master. Everything one possesses should be offered to him, for it is enjoined that one should deliver whatever he has to the spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So you see what's the common point Prabhupada is saying from in para 1 and para 2? Anyone can say? Para 1, para 2 for the Uttamadhikari, I mean. So he has given some characteristics there and some here. What's the common part?
Spreading Krishna
Obeying.
conscious.
Thank you, Mataji. Huh? So he's very, very, very keen in his spreading Krishna consciousness.
Also, they're saying that he should be accepted like as a bona fide
Yes.
person and
Yeah.
spiritual.
So you can say other way as well, Mataji. So we should only aspire to become a disciple of a Uttamadhikari. And what are the characteristics Prabhupada has given? So we should not just make anyone and everyone our guru, which happens so many times in India and other parts of the world as well. Just because he has so many followers, people just go for him. Him or her these days. But that's not the criteria. The criteria is giving. Prabhupada is writing, always thinking of Krishna, always thinking about Krishna. And he is very much desirous in spreading the Krishna consciousness. Why does he do that? Because he is very, very compassionate, very, very compassionate. Last week, someone was saying in this class itself that Uttamadhikari sees everyone from a soul perspective. And when he sees everyone from the soul's perspective, the pure nature of soul is everyone is a devotee. So Uttamadhikari actually sees everyone as a devotee except one person, except himself. Thank you, Namatar
Himself.
Prabhu. And Kanishtadhikari? Namatar Prabhu?
The opposite.
Opposite. What is that opposite? Can you say?
Like the
He
real
thinks
Ganesh.
Huh?
he thinks himself as the devotee, and rest all like
Greatest devotee, not
struggling.
devotee, greatest devotee. I'm the
Greatest.
only one. I'm the only savior of the whole world. After Prabhupada, it's just me. He learns 5 verses and he thinks I'm the Brihaspati. Next savior of the world is here. You don't recognize me, huh? Yeah, something like along that line. So no, he thinks actually I'm great and others are not so great. And if we are thinking like that many times, if not all the times, we should think about ourselves. That's why we should do some stock take of our own mindset with the Shastra. Where do we stand in front of Shastra? What I think, which is my contaminated mind making me think. That doesn't matter. But what Shastra is saying, huh? So I should be very honest and then see this is where I stand. And then we can go and seek some guidance as well. Huh? I am here. This is what Shastra is saying, and I want to go here. How can I make this journey happen from A to B? Okay, very beautiful. One more point, very, very important. I think we discussed last week, reiterating, till Madhyamadhikari, you can push yourself, but Uttamadhikari, you cannot push. Uttamadhikari will only be given, you can say, by Kripa of Krishna and his devotees. So only by Kripa, you can become Uttamadhikari. So you cannot become Uttamadhikari on your own. No matter how much advanced you think you are, you cannot become. So it has to be given. The Kripa will be given by Vaishnavas, and then you can be on that level. It's a very, very high level. Okay, let's see what Prabhupada has written different characteristics. It's just in one chart here. So Uttamadhikari, uncritical even if he is criticized. So basically what happens, generally speaking, when someone criticizes us, we become very agitated. But this person is very, very uncritical. Rather, he thinks, as Amrendra Prabhu was saying in one class, if someone criticizes us, someone is saying, you have 5 bad qualities. So Prabhu said, thank you, Prabhuji. You only mentioned 5 bad qualities. I have another 45 more. It's very kind of you. You only mentioning 5 bad qualities. Now, how many of us can think like that? Be honest. Very, very advanced devotee will think like that. Very, very advanced devotee. And Radheshyam Prabhu also said at the same time, if someone criticizing you and it is not a fact, you should just ignore, not get agitated. Ignore. That's also very, very hard, but we should try to practice because we will get criticism. You'll read, Prabhupada himself writes it, we'll get criticism even in Krishna consciousness movement. Sometimes we'll get private criticism, sometimes we'll get public criticism. And our internet is unfortunately filled up with these things sometimes. Definitely not correct. It's a great offense, actually, great offense. But anyway, if you receive it, how do you behave? Here is the answer. By Uttamadhikari, uncritical. He is completely shant, uncritical, even if he is criticized. He is pure. He is free from all the anarthas. He doesn't have any anarthas. Not that, his anarthas get pop up when any temptation come in front of him. No, he is free from all the anarthas. He is without false envy or ego. He's, you can say, nirmama. We read in Bhagavad Gita. He has no sense of proprietorship. He has no envy in his heart towards anyone. He becomes, generally speaking, when anyone grows higher in a field, especially in the field which we are also working, we get little envy. How come this devotee is getting so much respect? I'm not getting so much respect. We get little envy, especially again, if in the same field. It applies to Krishna consciousness as well, obviously. We get little envy, and our heart says, how come not me? Why him? Why him? But if it happens other way, as soon as anyone else is getting some fame, anyone else getting extra respect, and your heart, not only your lips, says, it's so nice to see this devotee, he is growing so nicely, then you should understand we are growing nicely. And someone was saying, if you want to remove envy from your heart, one of the things which you can do is start glorifying Vaishnavas. Start glorifying. And slowly, obviously, initially we are faking it. We don't mean it, but fake it till you make it. But while you are faking, don't think you have made it. While you're faking, don't think you have made it. Then it becomes very hypocritical. No, that's not desirable. But the point here is we should start glorifying Vaishnavas. Okay, this quality I don't understand why he is exhibiting this quality, but other quality, other seva, that he performed very nicely. So at least we can zoom on those qualities which you like, which were favorable to Krishna consciousness. And slowly we'll start saying the good qualities more than the bad qualities. And one day will come when we'll practically stop seeing the bad qualities unless you're authorized to correct that person. So he has no false ego or any envy. Out of great pain, he comes out and he teaches others. He has to come from Uttam Adhikari to Madhyam Adhikari to be able to preach, unless he comes down to a Madhyam Adhikari level for preaching purpose only. So he does not become Madhyam Adhikari. He is behaving like a Madhyam Adhikari only for the preaching purposes. Otherwise, he sees every soul as a devotee. Sorry, now Prabhu, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Because for the preaching purpose, he has to come down. Otherwise, he thinks everyone is a devotee. What's the need of preaching? Only one person needs preaching. Who's that? Me. So how can I preach? Just imagine that mindset. So beautiful mindset. He thinks, ideally speaking, everyone is a pure devotee. Everyone is serving Krishna. Someone is serving the higher energy of Krishna. Someone is serving lower energy of Krishna. But everyone is serving Krishna. That's right. If someone is drinking alcohol, he also serving Krishna in one way. But that service to Krishna does not take him towards Krishna. It takes him away from Krishna, isn't it? What's that Bhagavad Gita famous verse where Krishna says, everyone is on my path? 4:11, Gyeta mam prapaddante tam sutai bhajamyam mam vartante manusya partha sarvashah. Mam vartamanu vartante. Mam vartama. Vartama means path. Mam vartama. That's my path. Everyone is on my path. Alcohol also comes from Krishna, isn't it? Alcohol also. But yeah, it cannot be used. My Guru Maharaj said, actually, alcohol can also be used in Krishna service. And he said, external use only. When you get hurt, you put alcohol. It hurts, but it works, Maharaj said. So Maharaj said, external use only. So Prabhupada also said that Uttam Adhikari can put anything and everything in Krishna's service. Not everyone can do that. So now we should not prematurely try to do that. Okay, I'll also try to play around with my mind or some anti-devotional things. No, we can't do that. But a Uttam Adhikari, he can. Example again, Prabhupada engaged all sorts of people in different services of Krishna. He could do it. We can't. We can't. We will start looking at the faults of that person. Prabhupada writes, hate disease, not the disease. Very beautiful statement. It says every sinner sinner has a future, and every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. Every saint has a past. So I'm remembering, say, Valmiki Rishi. He was a daku, he was a dacoit, a great sinner from that perspective, but he became a great rishi. He became a great rishi. So Bragari, for example, and so many other examples are there. So they were quite sinful, but they became Param Vaishnavas. So hate the disease, not the disease, to protect newcomers' faith. I'll talk about that little later. It's a very important point. why Prabhupada is writing that. Okay, so he's fully self-realized. What does self-realized mean? In Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, what does self-realization mean? Now, self-realization can have multiple levels of meanings. In Gaudiya Vaishnavism, what does self-realization mean? Anyone?
Is it we are not basically we are the eternal living souls who are part and parcels of the Lord, and
Yeah, the second line is more important. Huh? Definitely, we are
not the
not the
body,
body,
so
we are the
yeah,
soul. Yes, that's a partial understanding. But Jivera Sarup hoy Krishner Nitya Das. Krishner Nitya Das, that is the most significant point of self-realization. Now, if you consider yourself just, I am not the body, I'm the soul, this is a part realization. But if you understand, I am part and parcel of Krishna and my eternal service is to serve Krishna, then it's called complete self-realization. So this person, this Uttamadhikari, is fully self-realized person, not partly. There are other groups, you can say, where the partial realization is considered as the highest realization. So that's not the understanding of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So he's self-realized. He's seriously engaged in Lord service. No need to say that. He expounds, spreads Krishna consciousness. Why Prabhupada is using two words, expounds. Expounds means he explained in very detail. He explains Krishna consciousness in very detail, and obviously he is spread. So you only hear his classes, you hear Prabhupada classes, for example, so crystal clear, so crystal clear. Huh? Every time, he even gives like 20 minutes classes, it's so crystal clear. Very, very clearly he gives example, he gives the philosophy in a very simple understanding for people. That's called expoundation, explanation, and spread. So some people, they only explain, but they do not spread. So explanation is good, but spreading. So there are two different things. Explanation plus spreading. Now, in spreading, you will explain, obviously, but you explain in detail, very, very clearly. Guru, he's the best guru. So now, I think we discussed it earlier. Madhyam Adhikari can also become a guru. Madhyam Adhikari can also become a guru. A very, Prabhupada writes, an advanced level of Madhyam Adhikari can become a guru. Is either Prabhupada or Prabhupada, very senior disciple, Hanumat Preshak Maharaj. He said, advanced Madhyam Adhikari, Burijan Prabhu as well, advanced Madhyam Adhikari can also become a guru. What's the problem with that? What's the problem with advanced Madhyam Adhikari as a guru and Uttam Adhikari as a guru? What's the problem with any guru from that perspective? The problem is that guru, whichever level he or she is, he cannot take you more than what he is at, isn't it? If he is a Madhyam Adhikari, what he can return back to you? The maximum he can return. He has 10 rupees in his pocket. The maximum he can give is how much? 10 rupees. He can't give 100. He doesn't have 100 rupees. So, but Uttam Adhikari can make you a Uttam Adhikari. That's why we should seek the association of the Uttam Adhikari. But if the Uttam Adhikari isn't available, there can be multiple reasons for that. Advanced Madhyama Adhikari can also become a spiritual master. But the problem is you can only elevate yourself to that level, not more than that. Okay, he's offenseless, obviously, as we said, even in his mind, he is not offensive at all. Prabhupada, okay, let's talk about this topic. So I knowingly left this to protect newcomers' faith and offenseless. They are interrelated, so let's speak together now. So this devotee is offenseless even in his mind. Now, Prabhupada, in his preaching, many times criticized his God brothers. And you would know many times he would say his disciples not to go towards them, not to associate with them. Now, why would Prabhupada do that? Is it not an offense to say something bad about your God brothers? Anyone? Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
His disciples, to protect his disciples.
To protect his disciples. Why?
Because I think they were propagating something which was not correct. So in order
Absolutely.
to protect
Absolutely.
them, he
So
said
as a
not to.
father, he is trying to protect his children, not criticizing his God brothers. Sometime Prabhupada wanted some help. He wrote letters in India. Can you please send one person? When he was in America, he said, I'll give the money for the ticket. Can you send some mridangas and kartals? No one helped Prabhupada at all, at all. But Prabhupada did not mind that. But when Prabhupada's disciples were meeting with the God brothers of Prabhupada, they were actually putting some, black thing in their minds against Prabhupada or against ISKCON. Then Prabhupada said, it's too much. Huh? You did not help me, that's okay, I did not mind. Huh? But then when they're propagating against ISKCON, against Prabhupada, one of the statements that other Gaudiya Vaishnava sannyasi gave, at least when Prabhupada came back to India, there was a public ceremony. Prabhupada was also present there, and one of the sannyasi, he undermined the effort of Prabhupada, and he said, we were sannyasis, he was senior sannyasi than Prabhupada. Huh? We were sannyasis, so we only preached to elite. Prabhupada was a businessman, so he knew how to deal with lower people as well. That's why he was successful in preaching those lower people. Such a bad statement, such a bad statement. So a sannyasi should only preach to elite, only the cream of the society. But sorry to say, they were failed even in preaching anyone. One of the other Prabhupada, Saraswati Siddhant Prabhupada disciple also went to Germany with all the money given by Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj, his living, his ticket, everything. And he hardly made any disciples. He only made one disciple, one Indian gentleman in Germany, and that became his disciple. He practically got no success. But Prabhupada went with no money, no support, no acquaintance with anyone. He made such a big change. Other Gaudiya Vaishnava in that Gaudiya Mutt were not pleased, not everyone, but many of them were not pleased with Prabhupada. And they thought Prabhupada was just a Grahastha who was coming and helping us. How come he has got so much popularity, so many disciples? And they started sort of envying Prabhupada. So in that situation, Prabhupada said to his disciples to not associate with his God brothers and God sisters because they were propagating against Prabhupada and ISKCON, which was obstructing Krishna consciousness preaching. So then Prabhupada said, so we should understand his intention behind those statements. When personally Prabhupada was not helped, Prabhupada did not mind at all. Prabhupada was very respectful towards them. But Prabhupada, when it came to Krishna consciousness preaching, then he said, no, enough is enough. So we have to understand that. So he was always offensive. When Prabhupada was in deathbed, some other Gaudiya Vaishnavas from Gaudiya Mutt, I should rather say, Gaudiya Mutt people came and Prabhupada said, please forgive me. In the course of preaching, I may have said many bad things. So please forgive me. I'm a Mahapatit. That's Prabhupada speaking. I'm a Mahapatit, so please forgive me because I've said many bad things during the course of my preaching. So one of the sannyasi from the Gaudiya Mutt said, Prabhupada, you're not Mahapatit, you are Mahapatit Pavan. And do not think that you have said anything like that, because they could understand the intention of Prabhupada. It wasn't Prabhupada speaking, it's the Prabhupada's service was going to get disrupted otherwise. So he's completely offenseless in all the situations, but sometimes to protect newcomers' faith, a spiritual master or a senior Vaishnava may tell you, please do not associate with those Vaishnavas. Although they are Vaishnavas, we respect them, but we do not closely associate with them. There are many lectures you can listen online, which our sannyasis have posted online. One lecture I heard probably last year, I really liked it. The relationship between ISKCON and Gaudiya Mutt. Beautiful lecture, and how we should stay away, not get closely associated with them. Okay, now he converts, and the last one I'm reading, he converts many people, and Bhakti Vinod Thakur once said, advancement of a Vaishnava is recognized by how many people he has made Vaishnava. When I read that first time, the first name came to my mind, Jai Pataka Maharaj. Jai Pataka Maharaj is such a person. He has made thousands, I think roughly, if I'm not wrong, he has around 50,000 disciples. Prabhupada said to Jai Pataka Maharaj, I have 5,000, you make 50,000 disciples. And Maharaj was saying, by Prabhupada's mercy, I've done that and I want to do more. So a guru is not just saying, no, I'm the biggest guru. That's one of the greatest things, Ritvix. They say Prabhupada is the last guru. Anyway, so he converts many people into Vaishnavism. Many people into Vaishnavism. And the number of devotees he is making, here we have to understand it's just not the number which we are talking here. They are talking about Vaishnavism. So many times we have to understand the difference between a Vaishnava and a Vaishnavism. Vaishnava, Tilak Kanti and all that is a Vaishnava, but does he have Vaishnavism in his heart? So that's what is more important. So he brings that Vaishnava because he's such a high level devotee. Another example can be Narad Muni. Narad Muni has unlimited disciples. You read in Bhagavatam, Every single top one is his disciple. Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, um, Prachetas, um, sons of Prachin Barhi, so many disciples, Uttanpad, Priyavrat, just remembering, Mragari, you name it, Valmiki, is Vyasadev. Anyone you see is Narada Muni's disciple. And that's why his name is Narada. He gives Narayan. Da means to Dadati, Nar means he gives Narayan to everyone and anyone. He's such a, quality preacher, such a quality preacher. That's why he is such an advanced level Vaishnava. Okay, he's disinterested in material enjoyment. Definitely, his heart is fully filled with Krishna consciousness. He's strictly following the 4x. Okay, and in this chart, the last chart I'm seeing, the yellow one, anyone's from Bhava onwards is considered as Uttamadhikari. Anything below that to Asakti is a Madhyam, but Bhava / Prema, he is on a Uttam platform. Yes, Prasannatma Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
So
Krishna.
just want to know, like Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Gaudiya Math, they are also following the similar principles what we follow. Then
Absolutely.
why there is like we shouldn't associate each other?
Yeah, this is something deep, which they have a different, you can say, spirit, Prabhuji. Their mission statement is a little different. That's all we can say. Although they follow the same principles, very nice Vaishnavas, but their mission statement, you can say, is a little different than ISKCON's. ISKCON mission statement is preaching, and we are very happy when someone else become a Vaishnava. But they sometimes, again, we cannot say for everyone, but we can say in general, they are very much limited to their own matha and the survival in the matha. But ISKCON is like going out, do work for others. Many times it has been seen on practical level. I can talk in this assembly. They take people away from ISKCON, and they get reinitiated in their mat by their own gurus. Many times it has happened. So yeah, their mood is quite different. That's all we can say. In terms of principles following, yes, Prabhuji, they also follow. They read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. There are many more things to say.
So I just want to know, like if someone who is following Gaudiya Math, will they not go back to Gaudiya? I'm just thinking.
That's
Actually,
absolutely good question. Yeah, absolutely good question. If they are following the right principles with the right mood, with the right attitude, they will absolutely go back to Gaudiya, Prabhuji. Absolutely.
Okay.
As I said, the mood there is different. Like our mood, the first primary thing with Prabhupada taught us to spread Krishna consciousness.
Okay.
You become a devotee and you help others to become devotee. So that mood is critically different. Again, as I said, it's not for everyone, we can say. For many, we can say. So in general, we take that precaution away. And if they follow correctly, they have Shraddha in their spiritual master, absolutely 101% they'll go back to Godhead.
Okay. Because I know my Guru Maharaj, one of the instruction given by Prabhupada is unite all the Gaudiya.
Yeah, but leave that service to eligible
No,
devotees.
I'm not doing. I'm saying that that was given like that. So
Yes.
that means what I'm saying is, can we associate, like that was
not closely. That's the instruction given, not closely.
okay.
They cannot give classes in ISKCON temples. It's strictly prohibited. They cannot give classes, and there are many reasons behind it. Very good reasons behind it. And you should also not attend their classes. This also given, because we have enough Vaishnavas. Again, we are not criticizing. They are not. What we are saying, we have so many Vaishnavas here, and we have enough to hear. Prabhupada has given us everything which we need to go back to Godhead. We don't need anything from the outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, which books do they read? Like we
Which
read
books?
Prabhupada.
They have their Bhagavad Gita, which is written. Bhakti Shastri Maharaj has given many commentaries, and they have their own books. If you can visit Gaudiya Math Yoga Peeth in Mayapur, I'm sure you would have been there. They have a library. I've been to that library. They have their books. But yeah, with Prabhupada again, not quoting to everyone, they don't have much respect many times, and we don't like that. For us, Prabhupada is our founder Acharya, he's everything. But for them, it's something else. And sometimes they don't even have a photo of Prabhupada, which is fine. We're not criticizing them what they are following as per their spiritual master, but we are following as per our spiritual master. So there's no criticism to anyone here, but we are following Prabhupada. So in one sense, we are Prabhupadanuga. We are following in the footsteps of Prabhupada. And so whatever instructions he has given, we are trying on that footprints. Okay, Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
So I just wanted to share about the Vaishnav converts, many to Vaishnavism. Bibi Govind Maharaj has many Muslim disciples
Yes.
from Kazakhstan and in UAE,
Mm.
wherein the kind of philosophy they understand, we don't even know that part.
Mm. Mm.
The way they understand and they can tell what is mentioned in Quran, and Maharaj is just like converted them in a beautiful way. The conversion there is like beautiful.
Yes, so that's a sign of his advancement because he's so advanced. And many Prabhupada disciples, they are extremely advanced. I know one Radha Govind Maharaj disciple, he doesn't speak Hindi and he has taken initiation from Maharaj, Prashant Krishna Prabhu. Such a beautiful person, such a beautiful disciple, such a knowledgeable person. And he said, I want to learn Hindi. Uh, I'm saying because he's so advanced, the language is no bar. Language is no bar. I can understand what spiritual master is saying directly or no. That's no bar. But his advancement is so much attractive. Many disciples from non-Hindi background, they take initiation from Maharaj. So beautiful. Just one sign, and there are many more signs. Yes, Mahasa Prabhu, you're going to add something. No, okay, I thought you're trying to add something. Yes, it's a very beautiful topic. Okay, now coming back to our references, as we have done for Madhyam and Kanishta, the same line, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, 2265 from Madhya, Leela, Shastra Yukte Sunipuna. If you remember, the other place it says Anipuna. Here it's saying Sunipuna. Is very nipun, very expert. Drada Shraddhayar. So both have Drada Shraddha, but there it was Anipuna, here is Sunipuna. Uttam Adhikari say Taraya Sansar. He is able to deliver the whole world. He is such an advanced person. Shastra Yuktecha Nipunah Sarva Drada Nishchaya Praudha Shraddhodhikariya Sa Bhakta Uttamo Mata. One who is expert in logic and in understanding the revealed scriptures and who always has firm conviction and deep faith that is not blind is to be considered a topmost devotee in devotional service. As per Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and as per Bhagavatam, this is 11:245. Havir Uvacha Sarva Bhuteshu Yah Pashed Bhagavat Bhavam Atmanah Bhutani Bhagavati Atmani Esha Bhagavat Tattamaha. So Bhagavat Uttamaha, that's the word Havir Muni is using in Srimad Bhagavatam. The most advanced devotee sees within everything the soul of all souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Consequently, he sees systematically everything in relation to the Supreme Lord and understands that everything that exists is eternally situated within the Lord. Now, the third line here, he sees systematically everything in relationship to the Supreme Lord. Now he sees Supreme Lord everywhere. In relation to Supreme Lord. So there's two different things. Prabhupada gives a beautiful example of a small baby who is going to school or preschool, and mother sees the small shoes of her baby. So she remembers. I'm seeing Vijay Gopi Mataji when she is the shoes of Janaki. Janaki may not be in the room. Mataji will remember, oh, where is Janaki? Janaki ke shoes yahan par hai. Shoes of Janaki is here, the toy of Janaki is here, the spoon of Janaki is here. So everything in relation to Janaki, granddaughter, right? So similarly, Uttam Adhikari sees everything in relation to the Lord. So he sees Hiranyakashipu as Hiranyakashipu, a pillar as pillar. But inside the pillar is Vishnu there? Obviously is there. Obviously. Why can't you see it? Vishnu is there. That's the Prahlad vision. So Prahlad is seeing the pillar, Prahlad is seeing Hiranyakashipu, but within every object, he is seeing the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's the very high elevated stage. Now, some examples, it is again worth reading very quickly. We all know these examples. Anyone recognize the first picture? I love this picture.
Narada Muni.
Narada Muni, Vajaya Veena. Thank you, Mata. What's happening in the picture?
Narada Muni is taking the remnants of the food taken by sadhus.
Thank you. So in Chaturmas, Narad Muni, in his previous birth, when he was a son of a Shudrani, he served the Vaishnavas for 4 months. And just by taking the remnants of their food, he got so much Sukrati and listening Krishna Katha from them. He became Narad Muni. Who is this in the second picture? Not Madhuri Mataji, someone else. It's not a difficult picture. Anyone?
Is it Mragari, Prabhu? I don't
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. And what's he is doing now? Who's in the
know. He
picture?
is
What are the three personalities?
Narada Muni and the other one, I don't know, Prabhu.
Parvat Muni. So
Parvat.
Narad Muni, Parvat Muni, and Mrigari. The post
Mrigari.
Mrigari, you can say, huh? Post
Yeah.
Mrigari. He's trying to
Wipe
pay.
away the ants
Yeah,
on
so
his.
he's trying to pay his obeisances, but while paying his obeisances, he saw there's some ants on the way. So he does not pay the obeisances. First, he's trying to take the ants away so that the land is clean. He does not kill any ant. That same Mrigari became a Param Vaishnava. So when we read in the first Kanishtadhikari can also become with association of Uttamadhikari as a Uttamadhikari. So these are the examples. Huh? So Kanishtadhikari becoming a Uttamadhikari. Someone else than Prasanatma Prabhu and Madhuri Mataji. Who is this? The easiest picture in the whole universe.
Ratnakar Daku and Narad Muni.
Thank you, Mataji. What's happening here?
So Ratnakar Daku, he kills people and loots them.
Especially
That's
Brahmanas. His choicest killing was, sorry, choicest one, first preference, top target, kill Brahmanas. Who has Janev? Who has Yagyopavit? And he loved that. And he has killed so many Brahmanas. It says 7.5 cart load full of Janev. Those many Brahmanas he had killed. 7.5 बैलगाड़ी का लोड जो होता है ना, the cart full of 7.5 truckload. You can imagine he has killed like hundreds and thousands of Brahmanas. That person, when he sees Narad Muni, he's trying to kill Narad Muni as well. And Narad Muni said, why are you killing me? He said, I want to steal your veena. Narad Muni said, I say de deta hu. I will just give you like that. You don't have to kill me for that. And then we know the whole story. So I'm just trying to present a picture. This sort of person can also become Valmiki Muni. Just imagine the power of bhakti. Narad Muni asked him to chant Ram. What was his response? I cannot.
Mora, 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 mora.
Thank you, Prabhu. And then Narad Muni said, can you chant Mara? He said, Mara, no problem. That's what I do every day. Mara, 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 Mara. So this person was so simple, he could not chant even one name of Lord Ram. But by chanting the other way, Mara, Mara, he became the guru of Ram. So imagine the power of bhakti. So we should never get discouraged that we will never become devotee. We will become devotee one day. One day we will all become pure devotee, Uttamadhikari. This is the power of bhakti. It's not our qualification, it's the power of bhakti. But yeah, if we stop offending Vaishnavas, one of the most critical thing, and have faith in the spiritual master's instruction, we will all become Uttamadhikari one day. Okay, next one. Someone else who has not spoken as yet. Jaldi, jaldi. Charu Mata. Favorite picture? No problem. Mataji is very humble.
Chadabharat.
Thank you. What's happening? Quickly, Mata.
Raghugana, like he was trying to carry the palanquin and then he was stepping, not to step against the ant, so he was moving here and there. Raghugana was scolding Chadabharat, and then Chadabharat started giving him. He started preaching.
He was such a Uttamadhikari. It says, after this instance, when Jad Bharat had given the Siksha to Rahugan, Rahugan became another Jad Bharat. Rahugan became another Jad Bharat. So this is the power of one lecture. Now, how many lectures we have heard? Just imagine. Thousands of lectures. Daily we hear 6, 7 lectures, something like that. Huh? What's happening? Krishna gave one class, 48 minutes to Arjuna. Rahugan was given one class, full conversion. Just imagine our situation. We are so unfortunate. Huh? So many nice Vaishnavas speaking to us every day, every day. Rahugan had so much surrender. He left his kingdom, his kingship, man. He was going all the way, like 3,000 kilometers by walk to receive one lecture of Kapil Muni. So much surrender he had. And we get on the tip of our phone. Even to start a lecture is difficult. And even if we hear, we still have our mind somewhere else. What Durdaivam idrisham ihajanina anuraga. This is called Durdaiva. Durdaiva. Who is this? Someone else. Jaldi, jaldi. Shraddha Mataji. Hiding behind. Can you recognize the picture, mother?
With Haridas Thakur and
Thank you. Your Prabhuji knows everything. Yes, Prabhuji, please tell in 2-3 lines what's happening.
so they're trying to beat Haridas Thakur in the
Beat to death.
death.
Not just beat to death. 22 marketplaces.
22
And
Mahaprabhus, yeah. And so they could not kill him because Mahaprabhu was protecting Haridas Thakur. And so then in the end, they gave up and they said, now we will be killed because we have failed to kill you. And hearing this, Haridas Thakur actually pretends to, he pretends in a way that he has given up his body, but he was still alive. And then they kind of threw his body into the Gangaji, and then, I mean, he kind of swam across the Gangaji to the other side. So he protected those people who were trying to kill him.
yeah, so he was praying. He said when they were beating him, he was praying for them. So this is Uttamadhikari. Huh? Someone even hurts us with his words, unintentional, and we get super angry.
And
And
sorry.
yes, Priya Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, I thought I just listened a while back that they were saying that Mahaprabhu came and said, "Did you feel any pain?" And he said, "No, I didn't feel, but I was still trying to remember and the holy name and pray to the Lordship." And he said, "Yes, because I was feeling, I had all those marks on myself. I was feeling that."
Yeah. And when the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's chadar got removed, he saw all the red marks on the back of Mahaprabhu. It's a Leela, but it says Krishna protects. But the point is, Haridas Thakur was praying for those who was trying to kill them. So this is such a highly elevated consciousness. And the last one, who will say very quickly, someone else who has not participated, Sundar Gopal Prabhu. No,
Sorry.
Krishna. Krishna. No, if you have spoken, no more. Chance is over. Jaldi say, who can recognize this? One picture, simplest picture.
The Lakhuhira, the Haridas Thakur.
Thank you. See, here we are. Vinay Prabhu knows everyone. Huh? Can you please tell in 2-3 lines, Prabhu, what's happening?
Yes, Prabhuji, because she came to
tempt Haridas Thakur.
Yeah, to change
And he was praying for her.
break his meditation, but Haridas Thakur doesn't bother. And he pray, he's finished his chant. Then after few days, and I think he
3
get the
days.
initiation. Yes.
3 days, just by listening to Haridas Thakur's chanting. He did not preach. He did not say no to her. He said, yeah, I'll just finish my rounds and I'll surely fulfill your desire. Whole night he was chanting, oh, I have not finished my rounds. Okay, come tomorrow, I'll fulfill your desire. And when she comes tomorrow, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Sorry, I'll just finish my round and then I'll fulfill your desire. 3rd day, and then after 3 days, her heart melted and she became he said, another Haridas Thakur. She started chanting 300,000 holy names. She gave up all her wealth away, which she had that time, and she shaved the head. You can see, this is a lady, this is not a man. Earlier when I came to ISKCON, I could not recognize this lady, Lakshagira, as Prabhuji said. She started chanting 300. This is the power of Vaishnava association. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra kahe, lava matra sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi hoy. This is why we seek association of our spiritual master. Not to get a photo with our spiritual master and put it on our Facebook profile. No, to get this association so our heart can be changed. This is why Ipsit Sangha Labdhya, because this can change everything in our life. This is what we, not Ipsit, I should be known as, I'm very close to my spiritual master, So Prabhuji, you are very close to your spiritual master. Yes, my heart is still dirty. Heart is still dirty. Heart is still have all the black contaminations. So here's some examples how they became from a very, very low level to the highest adhikaris. It's very, very encouraging for all of us. And our best Uttam Adhikari is no other than our Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So out of compassion at the age of 70, he crossed 7 oceans. When 70 people get retired, Prabhupada left Vrindavan. People take sannyas or vanaprastha, they go to Vrindavan and they feel very satisfied. Prabhupada left all the facilities there, and he came to West just so that he can fulfill the instruction of his spiritual master, which he could have fulfilled in other ways as well. He could have written books and sent it across the sea, but he personally came, and one of his disciples was saying Prabhupada practically murdered himself. He said Prabhupada murdered himself for us. 14 times around the globe in 11 years. You try. You try traveling to India and you give a class after you land. Just try one day. Extremely difficult, extremely difficult. Any long journey our body can't take. And these Prabhupada or many of his disciples just keep traveling, keep killing their body, but they want to give. So Prabhupada gave this so much to say on Prabhupada, but this is our favorite Uttamadhikari. Yes, Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
Just a quick question. Sometimes we hear, I have seen different in two different occasions. One devotee saying like something really bad happened, which was done by someone else. किसी ने उनको बहुत hurt किया. And their response to that situation, both are excellent devotees. And their response to the situation was कि मेरे तो भगवान है, वो देख लेंगे. मुझे कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं. I can just tolerate. At the same time, there was another problem with another devotee, and he prayed that Krishna, they don't know anything, don't take revenge. उनका मेरा तो कुछ नहीं जाएगा, उनका सब कुछ चला जाएगा. So what is higher, and how to discriminate when someone hurts us like that?
Very detailed topic, Mataji. Depends on situation, but only if I have to tell you in short, we have to follow duty versus dharma. So whenever duty is towards someone, suppose you're a mother, you have a small child, and someone hurts your child. For an example, by words or by physically, your duty is to protect your child. Then it's not like, okay, Krishna will look after it. No, if you are there, if you have samarthya, whatever capacity you have, based on your capacity, based on your intelligence, you take a decision to protect your child. Then it's not like when Sita was stolen, Ram did everything to protect Mother Sita. But when Ram's kingdom was taken, he was completely, that's all right. Thank you, mother. Thank you, father. I'm happy to go to. So what will be the response? We actually don't know. There's no static frozen answer to that. Depends on what's needed. But generally speaking, generally the thumb rule is when it's attack on you, you tolerate, generally speaking. Now again, it's attack of fire, you have to run. So there's no point of tolerating the fire. You know what I'm saying? Generally, the verbal attack is on you. For example, you should tolerate. Thank you, Prabhuji Mataji. And if there's something truth, as Adisham Prabhu said, you take it and try to improve it. If there's no truth in the criticism, you leave it there. That's okay. Actually, if someone else criticizing you, for example, and that's not true, for example, he's taking your karma. So in one sense, we are very happy if people are criticizing in that sense, because by criticizing you, they take your karma away. They take your karma away, bad karma, obviously, and they get that bad karma on their head. Suppose A has 100 bad karma. A is a very good devotee, but he has 100 bad karma. If B criticizes A for no reason, no reasons of A's present, B gets all the 100 karmas. So if people criticize, no problem. But many times, if people are criticizing, you may have to give response. Sometimes Chaitanya Prabhu says, sometimes Radhanath Maharaj also will respond to criticism. Sometimes he does. Not every time, but sometimes, depending. Because if it's obstructing his preaching, some congregation members needs to be clarified. And he said he did that. But many times, generally, just tolerate, doesn't matter. And again, it can be private criticism, it can be public criticism. But when the attack is on Krishna consciousness, when attack is on a spiritual master, attack is on a devotee, again, physical or verbal, based on your capacity, time, place, and circumstances, not a revenge, but protection. It's your duty. So that time you should, and if you don't do your duty, actually you become culprit. Suppose you're a doctor and a person next to you is dying and you have capacity to protect. And if you don't, even in today's federal court, you get punished. You are present there, the patient next to you died. You are not on duty, but still you are dutiful to that person. You should have saved person's life. Similarly, if you have capacity, the circumstances are there, you should protect Krishna. When Ravan undermined Ram, Hanumanji was very angry, and his anger is glorified. So sometimes anger is needed, sometimes chastisement is needed. and sometimes some physical actions may be needed as well. Prabhupada was fighting many court cases, many court cases at the same time. Prabhupada said, no, this Krishna's money, I'll not let it go so easily. Mr. Nair, famous case, Prabhupada said, it's Krishna's money. And on top of that, Prabhupada said, I promised Radha Ras Bihari, I'll build you a temple here. How can I break my promise? So there's no frozen answer to that situation. But again, if you are confused, based on the customized situation, you can go to a senior Vaishnava and seek some guidance, but they are the guidelines. Okay, let's do a quick summary of verse 5. It's very beautiful. I wanted to spend more time on this verse, so we did spend some time, but let's summarize the last slide. Kanishtadhikari, 4 characteristics. He sees Krishna only in the deity. He is not very good in behavior with other devotees. Harinam initiated. He is not just a new guy on the street. He's Harinam initiated. It's pretty high. But his faith is very, very soft. Madhyama, Ishvare tat adhineshu, Prema Maitri Kripopeksha. You can just remember these 8 words. So he does all that. Uttama, we just finished. I'll not reread that. So this verse is a beautiful verse which describes the symptoms of Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttamadhikari, and what should be our behavior with those people. Now, this little diagram here is very beautiful. Ipsit Sang Labdhya. So what's the meaning of that? We should try to associate with Uttamadhikari. How we should do that? We start with faith. You have faith in that Uttamadhikari. You inquire from him. Inquire about Krishna consciousness, obviously. And then you associate. Now, association can be Vani or Vapu or both, or can only be Vani. And then you serve him. Now, service, many times we think service means I cook for him, I clean for him, I drive for him. Yes, that is definitely a service. The best service you can do to that Uttamadhikari is by following his Vani instruction. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was asked once by one of his disciples in private. He said, Maharaj, give me some instructions. Maharaj said, I keep giving instructions in my classes. He said, no, Maharaj, some personal instruction. So Maharaj said, beautiful statement. All my public classes are my private instructions. And I said, all my public classes are my private instructions. So we should not think my spiritual master will meet with me and then he will say, okay, Prabhuji, number 1, number 2, number 3. He may say that if he thinks that way, but all the public classes of all the spiritual masters are private instruction. My Guru Maharaj even said, even if a spiritual master is joking, you should not take that as a joke. Even in the joke, he is giving instructions. They're that level of Vaishnava. So they are not like just laughing and giggling like we do and we waste our time. Even in the joke, they are giving instructions. And you realize when they speak, everything they speak will have some meaning, some instruction, some siksha will be there in their instructions. So we serve them. How do we serve? Time, place, circumstances. And then what happens? Our Shraddha increases. Then we inquire more, we associate more, we serve more, Shraddha increases, Shraddha increases. So by following this cycle, what happens? A KA, Kanishta Adhikari, becomes a UA, Uttamadhikari. So journey from K to UA, again, serve, associate, serve, associate, serve, associate. Beautiful. Okay. Any questions on verse 5 very quickly? All good? Okay, let's move to our verse 6. Karika Mataji, would you like to read? If you could. If Vaishnav is there, that's all right.
Oh, it is too small. Let me open my book. Prabhu, I can't read.
Okay, no worries, Mother. Anyone else volunteer to read this verse very quickly? Okay, I'll read myself. Drashtai swabhava janitair vapushasya doshair na prakritatvam iha bhakta janasya pashet gangam bhasam na khalbud fena pankair brahmadravtam apagachati nirdharmai. It's not Brahma. Some people are pronouncing as Brahma. It's Brahma. It's Brahmadrav. Brahmadrav means transcendental drav, which is liquid, which is Gangaji. It's not Brahmadrav. Brahmadrav. Okay, so I'll read the translation by Srila Prabhupada. Being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a devotee should not be seen from a materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee having a body born in a low family, a body with bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased or infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee, but despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the waters of Ganges, which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foam, and mud. The Ganges water do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in the Ganges without considering the condition of the water. Okay, so beautiful verse. We'll just read the word by word translation, then the little connection, the overview, then we'll go inside the verse. Okay, our favorite chart. So where are we? We are within the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, which is the first section of this book. Within that, we're in the second subsection of Sadhu Sangha, and this is the last verse associating with the pure devotee. So you can see a linkage very clearly. Verse 5 was association according to the levels of advancement, and this is associating with the pure devotee. So in verse 5, you know who the pure devotee is, who's Uttamadhikari. Now, how to associate with that Uttamadhikari regardless of his or her bodily situation. This is what we're going to read in verse 6. Because we know whom to associate with. That's very, very clear so far. Verse 5. Now, how to associate. That's what we're going to see. Beautiful verse. This verse 6 is really nice verse. Okay, drashtai. Who will say the meaning of drashtai? Everyone knows that. Drashtai. Drashti.
To see.
To see, thank you. This may be hesitation. Drashti, see, huh? To drashtai, see. Swabhava janitair. Swabhav. Swabhav, everyone knows Swabhava. I'm sure
Nature.
in
Nature.
Your
Tamil,
nature.
Telugu, everywhere Swabhav word will be there. Sanskrit word, huh? Janitair. Born out. Ja refers to Janma. Janit. Janitai. Vapu. Everyone knows Vapu.
Body.
Body. Vapu and Vani. We keep saying those two words. Cha.
And
Doshair. Dosha.
defects.
Defects. Faults. Thank you. Huh? Na. Everyone knows that.
No.
Not.
Thank you. Prakrtatvam. Prakrit. Materialistic. Prakriti. So Prakrit comes from Prakrit. Where did we read this word earlier? In verse 5, Habir Muni 11 to 47, calling Kanishtadhikari in Bhagavatam as Prakrit Bhakta, materialistic devotee. Now, the word devotee, materialistic, yes, is on material platform. Kanishtadhikari is called as Prakrit Bhakta. Iha, here, you can say here, Bhakta Janasya, a Bhakta. Bhakta Jana. Where else in Bhagavatam we read this word Bhakta Jana? Mahasa Prabhu will know. Viraj Prabhu's favorite verse.
Aham bhakta paradhina
Thank you.
yashanti
Sadhuvir grashtayo bhaktair bhakt jana priya. 9463. 9th canto. This is Narayan is speaking with Durvasa Muni. Aham bhakta paradhino. I am under the full control of my devotee. What to speak of my devotee? Even the devotee of my devotee is very, very dear to me. Bhakta jana se pashet. Pashet again. Pashet.
To look, to see.
See. So there are two words written here, drashtai and pashet. We'll see the difference as well. Although they are same, drashtai here refers to material vision, pashet refers to spiritual vision. We'll read about it. Gangam Bhasam. Gangaji. Okay, I'll just put all these words. This is Prabhupada's translation, not mine. I've just broken it down so you can read it. Prabhupada has written, sent by ordinary vision, Swabhav is born of one's nature, Vapu of the body of. I just want you to just think about these words, that's all. Okay. Gangam Bhasam na khalu buddha buddha female. Gangam Bhasam like Ganga ji. So now analogy is given by Rupa Goswami. Na khalu buddha buddha. Bud means bulbule, bubbles. In Gangaji, you'll see sometimes bubbles, any water, Fena. Fena means foam. And Pankair means, Pankair words come from Pankaj, Panka. Pank means kichad. In Hindi, they call it kichad or mud. So pani, pani may have panka. Panka means mud. Sometimes kichad will be there. Huh? In rainy season, you see fena, you'll see some foam there. Or budbud means bulbule, huh? Bubbles you will see. So three things you will see: budbud, fen, panka. Budbud is bubbles, foam, and mud. I don't know how to translate. Mud is not the very highest word. Kichad is very different. Yeah. Ujjwala Mataji, you understand? Kichad and mitti, alag alag hai. There's no English translation, at least in my knowledge. Huh? But panka is a very nice word. Panka, pankaj. Pankaj means kamal, lotus, because lotus comes in panka, in kichad. Huh? Okay. Brahmadravatam means is Brahmadrav. Brahmadrav is transcendental. Drav means liquid. Huh? So Ganga water is not a normal water. It's a transcendental water. Apagachati. Apagachati means it's spoiled by these. It looks like Neer. Neer means jal. Dharma means dharma. Dharma of water is to have this. Huh? So let's read the whole verse again. Drashtai swabhav janitair vapushasya doshai na prakrtatvam iha bhakta janasya pashe gangam bhasam na khalu bud fena pankay brahma dravatam apagachati nirdharmai. Nirdharma, it's a characteristic of water to have some bud fen panka. Even if you take the water out of your hot water tap. I'm remembering a devotee's house and they are here. We took water from the hot tap and there was some budbud there. And Prabhuji said, it's all right. After some time, it will get settled down. Manmohan Prabhuji, thank you. We are saying, should we take hot water from the tap or boil it on the kitchen? Prabhu said, abhi theek ho jayega. Leave it there. Manmohan Prabhu is a doctor, so he understands how much risk he can take. Huh? Budbud is the nature of water. Huh? After some time, it will get settled. Some foam will be there, some bubbles may be there, some mud will be there. But the Ganga water, it is Brahmadrav. It cannot be contaminated. Similarly, now first we read the analogy. Now similarly, Drashtai, if you look from a Prakrit material perspective, some faults may be there. Some dosha, the last word of the first line, some dosha, some faults may be there in the body or in that personality, may be there. Na prakrtatvam, but we should not pashed. Na pashed, we have to put na in front of pashed. Na pashed, we should not see as prakrit, as materialistic, because he is a bhakta janasya, he is a pure devotee. He is a pure devotee. So as Ganga water can have some budbud fena panka, similarly, a pure devotee can also seemingly have some defects, but we should not consider him as a materialistic person. And should not bring him down to a materialist person just because of those so-called defects. Okay, so that's the verse. Now this verse overview, very quickly, continuation of Uttamadhikari, description of Uttamadhikari from verse 5. It discusses how to associate with these devotees, especially with the spiritual master who is understood to be transcendentally situated. Determine who is a devotee by advancement, not by bodily defects, low birth, etc. So very beautiful verse. It really tells us how we should see other devotees, not based on their body, but based on their advancement. Now, Prabhupada will talk about 7 defects here. How many? 7 defects in his purport altogether, by which we may get our vision wrong towards that person. So we'll read all those 7 defects and we'll try to counteract them with some specific examples from Shastra, that how we should avoid those things, because Shastra has proved those defects are not the defects. Okay. So first one Prabhupada describes, and this is the biggest portion of the purport of Prabhupada, criticism of bodily defects. Criticism of bodily defects. Sometimes we see someone's body is not very beautiful. For example, they may have a blackish body, they may have some disease in the body, they may not walk properly, their vision may not be good, blah, 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 so many things. And sometimes we may criticize based on those. So one example, anyone can recognize this picture? Now, Avatar Prabhu, who is this in the picture? What's happening? No problem, Prabhuji. Anyone?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Definitely. That's for sure.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Sanatana Goswami.
Thank you. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Sanatana Goswami. Thank you. And what's happening in the picture?
he had some, he was coming to meet Mahaprabhu and he had some bodily, some boils or something. So he was feeling embarrassed to go near Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu was trying to embrace him.
Oh, thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. So Prasanatha Prabhu has read Chaitanya Charitamrita very nicely. Thank you. Very nice instance for this particular example.
No, I didn't read, Prabhu. You only explained this one.
Oh, did I? Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. Thank you for listening.
Hare
Thank you for
Krishna.
listening. Many times I don't even listen to myself. If you are listening, so thank you to you. So I'll just quickly tell for everyone's benefit. So Sanatana Goswami once were traveling from Vrindavan to Puri. Obviously, it was a long journey. There's no trains or flights. He had to walk. And because of malnutrition on the way, over tiredness, drinking water from different places, because you just have to, there's no Bisleri water available. You have to just drink the local water. So his body got some sort of disease. And he had pusses, boils in his body, and the pus was oozing out from those boils. When he arrived to Puri, when Mahaprabhu saw him, Mahaprabhu was so happy to see Sanatana Goswami and he wanted to embrace Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami said, "No, please, Mahaprabhu, don't come near to me because I have this disease, infection." And you know what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said? Beautiful statement he said. He said, "Sanatan, you have this disease, so what?" He said, "Mahaprabhu, you'll also get contaminated." Mahaprabhu said, "I am a sannyasi, and sannyasi is supposed to see everyone from a soul perspective. If I don't see you from soul's perspective, there's a fault in my sannyas." Look at the statement of Mahaprabhu. It's a fault in my sannyas if I still see you from a bodily perspective. And he forcefully embraced Sanatana Goswami. And you know what was the result? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got corona. Sanatana Goswami's corona got removed. So this is the beauty of he is God. He is God. He is Bhagwan. But the point here is, again, we should not see him only from the God perspective, from Leela perspective. He is playing the role of a sannyasi, and we should take the lessons from there. We should not always see. Now, it does not mean we do not take the precaution. It doesn't mean that way. What it means here, we should not just see. See, there can be two visions. One can be material vision, one can be transcendental vision. And we all can have both, right? But it should not be just material vision so that we ignore complete the transcendental part of that person, right? If he's advanced devotee, we just see him materially. Oh, he's so black, he's not wearing good clothes, he has a big beard, huh? We only see the material part. Then what happens? We miss out the transcendental part. We only see transcendental part, and like a doctor, when a doctor even goes to treat the patients, does doctor take the precaution? He wears the mask and all that, he wears the gloves, isn't it? He's serving the patient, but he's serving with caution. Huh? So if we only see the transcendental, no material at all, then what will happen? We may also get, because we are material, right? We are not transcendental, we are material. We may get a simple example, a corona, for example. You're serving a corona patient, you have to take care of whatever you need to do, right? Obviously, in this case, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagwan. He can do it. But the point here is we should not look at the devotees, especially pure devotees, from bodily perspective. Because if they have so-called bodily defect, now someone may argue, why do you get any suffering in your body? What's the simple answer? Our ISKCON devotees know this very well. Karma, Prabhu. Karma. You're suffering your karma. Now, if someone has some disease, what's the root of it? Karma, Prabhuji. He has done some bad karma. He's suffering the results. Now, imagine if you start dealing with other people like that. If some devotee is in hospital, you go, instead of taking prasad and Mahaprasad garland, you take this philosophy to him. Prabhu, you have done so bad karma. That's why you're suffering in the hospital. A baby is crying and mother says, you're crying because you're suffering your karma. So you can cry, baby, as much as you like, and you'll exhaust your karma. Is this a good philosophy? Your wealth got stolen, and you go to a king and you say, my dear king, my wealth got stolen by X, Y, and Z. Can you find him and punish him and let my wealth come to me? And the king will say, Prabhu, it's your bad karma. Mr. X, Y, and Z. Will the word work like that? Can you work like that in your life? Every time you deal with someone, you say, Prabhu, karma, karma, karma. No, the word doesn't work like that. Huh? It says when we are dealing with others, we should not put the karma philosophy. We should put our dharma philosophy. So don't look at the karma of the person, look at the dharma, what you can do at this stage for this person. Why he or she is suffering, which karma, that Krishna will take care. That's Krishna's job. You don't try to become Krishna. So in our normal day-to-day dealings, we don't work on the karma philosophy. Karma philosophy should be taken in future. If I do bad today, in future I have to suffer, right? So it should not be done as a post-mortem that everyone suffering, we say, oh, it's all karma, let them suffer, let them cry. No, a devotee is very soft-hearted, very, very soft-hearted, and karma philosophy cannot be applied as a post-mortem, especially when we are dealing with others. So dealing with others, we should not look at the karma, we should look at dharma. Now, why they are suffering, and there may be some sinful reactions coming from their past, but that's the job of Krishna. Is between Krishna and that devotee, why that devotee is suffering at present. But if I can, get some prasad for the devotee, I can get something for that devotee to help him out, I should definitely do that. That's my duty. Unless my Guru Maharaj said that devotee is very critical towards devotees or Krishna, then he said you can send him prasadam by courier. And if he rejects that, he said you can offer your prayers for that person. Anyway, the point is, criticism of bodily defects is definitely not recommended. It's many times very, very common, especially in the neophyte stage, because we judge people by their look, by their appearance, how they appear. It says in the modern world, the behavior is not important, the appearance is important. In the previous ages, the appearance wasn't important, the behavior was important. Now everything is upside down. वो दिखता कैसा है? How does it look like? And if he looks like a sadhu, then he would be a sadhu. Not necessarily. If he is wearing a saffron, big beard, do char shloka here and there. No, not necessarily. His advancement should be seen, not his bodily. And even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, apiche sudaracharo bhajte mam ananya bhag sadhurya samantavya samyak vyavasto hisa. So Krishna said, even if person has performed sudurachar, by having established firmly in devotion today, he will become a sadhu. Shipram bhavati dharmatma, shashvat shantim nigachati. Bahut jaldi, Shipram, very, very soon, he will become a devotee. So, criticism of body defects, we should very promptly avoid this. This is a statement which I think I already discussed about it. Two more examples which came to mind. There's a Ganeshi example. Everyone knows Ganeshi once ate a lot of laddus. Ganeshi is a lover of laddus. And he was riding on his mushak, in his chuha, and he was going somewhere. But he was so heavy, the chuha, the mushak could not carry Ganeshi. And Ganeshi fell down. Ganeshi fell down. And Chandrama on the top started laughing at Ganeshi. And Ganeshi cursed Chandrama. Cursed Chandrama. You think you are very beautiful? So I'll take your beauty away. And so from that day onwards, Chandrama started going, Purnima and Amavas. Before Chandrama was one, like Surya. So Chandrama, there's a nice story of Ganeshi because he started laughing at the bodily defect of Ganeshi because his udar was very, very big. And he says all the laddus fell out of his udar. Ashtavakra Muni, you would have heard his name. Ashtavakra Muni is a very, very prominent person in our Shastra. His name comes in many, many Shastra. Very scholarly person. It says even Janak Maharaj, who is known as Videha, became his disciple. Now here disciple does not mean a Diksha disciple, a Siksha disciple. Siksha disciple is many, many Maharaj take Siksha from many, many rishis. But the same Ashtavakra Muni, there's Ashtavakra Gita as well. His Updesh are there in so many places. But same Ashtavakra Muni, his name Ashtavakra is, his body is bent in 8 places. So it doesn't look so beautiful. When he went to heaven for some purpose, obviously for a program, he went for a program in heavens and some apsaras of heavenly kingdom, they started laughing at Ashtavakra Muni. And Ashtavakra Muni gave curse to him. So if we do these sort of offenses, the reaction can be quite severe for our bhakti, especially. So we see this physical offense, but Guru Maharaj said if you do offend to devotees, Krishna is not very happy and he freezes your advancement. He freezes. He does not take it away, but he freezes your advancement. And you may even step out of bhakti. So that's the first one. Birth, very, very important. Some people in India especially, they think, I am Brahmin. Why? Because you put Tiwari in front of your name. or Mishra or Rupam Prabhu Upadhyay. I think they are also Bengali Brahmins, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So in Madhuri Mataji, I think Brahman again. No, all of you are Brahman by your actions. But I'm saying some examples. I'm also same by birth. So some people, especially coming from Indian background, they think I am Brahman. Why? Because I'm born in Brahman family, and they strictly criticize others who have not taken birth in Brahminical family, and they do not even accept. Many times Prabhupada disciples in Vrindavan were not accepted. One example which comes to my mind, they were buying something in Loi Bazaar, they're buying something. So you know what they said? Leave the money here. I will not accept the money right from your hand. So they said, you know, leave the 50 rupees on the counter and then you go and they will give. They were considered as untouchables. They are Malechas. They have come from Western countries. So these were the treatments. They will not, Western sannyasis, they never heard of. They never heard of. And they will just not accept those Western bodied people who have taken sannyas because they were very, very proud. This picture of Haridas Thakur, everyone knows that. But why Haridas was criticized? Why Haridas was criticized? Because he was born in Muslim family, not born in a Brahmin family, and he is chanting Hare Krishna. How can he do that? This is the birthright of Brahmanas. So it says, you know who complained for Haridas Thakur? It was not Muslims who complained. It was Hindus who complained to Qazi that this Muslim guy is contaminating my business. No, they didn't say my business, but that's what they meant. Because he was getting fame, Haridas Thakur. Because he was not just born in a Brahmin family, he was criticized and then he was beaten. So much atrocities were done. Hanumanji, one of the greatest devotee in the whole history of devotees, he is not even a human. He's a monkey. In Hindi, it's called Vanara. In Sanskrit, he's a Vanara. He's not even a, but he is the best devotee of Lord Ram. You would have heard that story of Lord Ram having, you know, one diary where all the devotee names are written. So Hanumanji goes, "Mera naam bhi hoga." Will my name be there? So he looks at the whole diary and his name is not there. He says, "Lord Ram, am I not your devotee?" I thought I'm also your little servant. And Ram says, I have two diaries. One diary has all the names which devotees never forgets me, and I have another diary whom I don't forget. And in that diary, only one name was there, Hanumanji. Such a dear, dear servant of Lord Ram. Such a great Vaishnava. He's called Guru Tattva. Materially speaking, he's not even a human. Who can tell in this picture? Madhuri Mata? Your Prabhuji have given fantastic classes on this.
Ramanujacharya.
No.
Wife of Ram.
Yes, thank you, Mata.
Wife of Ramanujacharya,
Absolutely
and
right.
she was feeding
Kanchipur.
Kanchipur.
Can you tell one few line pastime?
Yeah, so Ramanujacharya has invited Kanchipurna, and then he was not there at home. No, actually, she fed Kanchipurna, and after he left, she cleaned all the house. She washed all the house and everything, saying that he is of low caste. So Ramanujacharya felt really very bad, and he left the house.
I'll just add a little bit here, just for devotees' benefit. You said the right.
Yeah.
So Ramanujacharya considered Kanchipurn, who was seemingly born in a low caste, seemingly a Shudra caste, considered him as his guru. Ramanujacharya was such a great personality, but he considered Kanchipurn can be my guru. So one day he invited him for lunch, prasadam. And those days were no WhatsApp, no calls. So where are you, Prabhuji? Prabhu, I'm at train station. I'm 45 minutes away. Nothing like that. So Ramanujacharya at the time of lunch went out for looking for Kanchipurn because he's just walking on the way. Kanchipurn actually knew about it. And he said he only came in the house of Ramanujacharya because he was insisting a lot to come and have lunch prasadam. So he came in the house when Ramanujacharya had gone out to look for Kanchipurn. Very easy, very easy. He came in the house. He humbly sat on the floor, and Ramanujacharya's wife, in this blue sari, Mataji, she served the lunch prasadam as per the instruction of Ramanujacharya. But once Kanchipurn finished the prasad, the intention of Ramanujacharya was, I will take the remnants of this great devotee, so I will also become a devotee. That was his intention. But because Ramanujacharya was not there, his wife considered this birth thing. She considered, okay, Kanchipun is a low quality person, is a Shudra. So, okay, my husband has said, so I'll serve him, but she did not consider him any good devotee. Anyway, so she served the prasadam, and when he left, she packed up everything, all the remnants of this, and I think put in the well or fed it to some cows or something, and then she washed the whole house. When Ramanujacharya came and he said, what happened here? Did Kanchipun come? She said, yeah, he came and I served him prasad as per your instruction, and then I washed the whole house. Ramanujacharya got really hurt after the incident and says this was the instance after which Ramanujacharya left home and took sannyas. Like Prabhupada, same thing, tea or me? Tea. Prabhupada said, okay, goodbye. Goodbye. Now, it wasn't easy for those people when we sometimes laugh at it, but it wouldn't have been easy for Ramanujacharya or Prabhupada. Anyway, so this lady had this vision of Shudra Brahmana by birth. We'll just finish this slide and we'll stop the class. Now, even if not from Brahman or Goswami family, Prabhupada said he can become a Goswami. This is Prabhupada purport. Who is a Goswami? Prabhupada said is monopoly, this title Goswami is a monopoly of pure devotees. It's not a caste Goswami. Caste Goswami means a child which has taken birth in a so-called Goswami family. Just by taking birth, he does not become Goswami. We may remain as a Godas. Some devotee was saying in a class, he says, you are a Gobi. Gobi means also, I heard in a recent class, Gobi means Adant Gobhir. You are the Das of Indriyas. So anyway, Goswami is the monopoly of pure devotees, not hereditary. Example is Rupa and Sanatana. They performed the act by which they became Goswami. Practically, actually, they had become Mohammedans at one stage of life. From external vision, I'm talking, not from their internals. Now, this person is non-envious and prideless. Goswami family may criticize, as Prabhupada writes in his purport, they will not accept Western body sannyasis. They will even protest Goswami title given to American Vaishnavas. But this person is not envious of Western sannyasis and he is not proud of his own birth. So this is another defect Prabhupada writes, is a second defect by which we should avoid offending other Vaishnavas. Okay, it's 9:04. I'll stop here. If you have any questions, please write it. And next week, we will cover extra 5 defects which we may offend devotees at as per Prabhupada's purport. Sundar Gopal Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, we won't have the regular class on Wednesday, but we'll have the class next week on Thursday, as we discussed last week. So it will be on the 29th at 7 p.m. same time.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So now this weekend is a lot of seva in the temple. If you are available in any form, shape, please contact Partha Prabhu. He's just passing and help Radha Gopinath temple. And next week is Janmashtami on Tuesday. Wednesday is Prabhupada appearance day. So whatever possible for you from wherever you are, do some extra seva for Prabhupada this week. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.